Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Cosmic Circus Comics Review. My name is Vin. With me is Vic.
Hello.
And today, we're actually talking about Avengers Doomsday cast announcement, which is 5 hours. It's the longest thing ever produced by Marvel Studios, I think, in one chunk. And it's just chairs. Just chairs. Now, Vic, thank God you and I did not watch this live. We were actually having dinner together, like we were having a good time,
Yeah.
living our lives. But we came home, and I'm pretty sure both of us watched it anyway.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
But to be fair, I put it on 16 speed so that it goes by in about 20 minutes.
And then they just published 1 minute version of it.
Yes. So this is a 5 hour, 27 minute, and 51 second video with creepy music on a loop. As your reward for watching the whole thing, they published a 1 minute 47 with this new Avengers theme, with a little X-Men motif by Alan Silvestri. Hold on, before we get too far, please remember to support us on Patreon as well for exclusive content, early access, extended videos, all kinds of cool stuff. We have so many Patreon supporters. Every couple days now, we're having to update the list of our Patreon supporters. So it's just amazing. Thank you guys. Keep supporting us. Okay, Avengers Doomsday. This is coming out May 1st, 2026. It's the first Marvel movie to come out on May 1st since Avengers Age of Ultron, which was also May 1st. This is directed by Anthony and Joe Russo. Ever heard of them? Written by Michael Waldron and Stephen McFeely. Edited by Jeffrey Ford. Music by Alan Silvestri. And I think that's all we know for credits. I don't think we know anything about like the cinematographer, which might be interesting to know. Um, I just want to start with these credits. Vic, how do you feel about Silvestri and Jeffrey Ford coming back? Do you
Well,
know anything about their work?
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sylvester is definitely one of the best, if not the best, MCU composer for me. I have my list of the composers in the
Hmm.
Marvel, so
Hmm.
Silvestri, Zimmer, Elfman, Jackman, Ottman. They are all great, but
Yeah.
Silvestri, especially in Infinity War, he made this perfect soundtrack that
Okay.
fit almost every scene, if not every scene. So, he's like the godfather of the Avengers,
Hmm.
almost like the Avengers team and all that.
I
So
personally kind of hope that from these new movies that we would kind of move into like a new. I really wanted new directors, new writers, like maybe the Benson and Moorhead, who did Moon Knight, Loki, Daredevil, and but I mean, of course, they're doing Daredevil season 2 now. But I would have loved if they had passed them. They were my picks for Secret Wars. And for music, I was kind of hoping it might go to Giacchino.
well, I was thinking for a second they're gonna go back to Henry Jackman.
It could be,
Or
but
or maybe they're
he's
gonna
like
pick
gone now.
Altman, since
Yeah.
Altman is very experienced with X-Men soundtrack because he did it back in the day. So,
No.
but I think that it will not only be Sylvester at this moment, because I think he may team up with Altman, especially because, as I mentioned,
Okay.
he worked on X-Men
Hmm.
and he knows these teams, and they may mix something together,
Hmm.
and it may officially only be a soundtrack made by Sylvester, but I think that he'll have his 5 cents in it.
Hmm.
But as you said, different people would be great, but at this time Marvel is playing it safe, especially after dropping Waldron, who I think is a great writer, especially after
Hmm.
after Multiverse of Madness and Loki.
Hmm.
I know not everyone will agree with me, but he's one of the greatest writers in Marvel, for me at least.
Hmm.
And I was happy,
Mhm.
but
I really loved Loki. See, both season 1 and but he didn't do season 2, right?
I think he did,
No.
at least part of it.
Oh, we might have to check that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but anyway, you know, they're playing it safe, so they're bringing the veterans.
Hmm.
Well, oh, Eric Martin wrote.
Yeah, and Eric Martin was the one who took over Loki season 1 when Waldron left for Doctor Strange. They're
Yeah,
they're
but
they're like friends, honestly. Uh,
yeah, and you
but
could
that
feel.
would have been great. Eric Martin and Michael Waldron, give them the Avengers movies. I would have been so happy with like their duo again.
Especially with the
Yeah.
multiverse stuff.
Yeah. Do
Yeah.
you feel that the fact that they're going back to the Russos and McFeely? and Jeffrey Ford. They're going back to all the classics again. Does that give you confidence in it, or do you feel like this is damage control and they're just trying to like make something safe?
I think it's both at the same time
Sure.
because Russos they are great directors when they have a great script. Infinity War proved it, Civil War
Hmm.
proved it, Winter Soldier proved it, and Endgame proved it. Uh, and when they have a good script, not the best script, they very often can make it a disaster, which their last movies proved. So
Hmm.
um, I think that it's really a damage control at this point, especially that Feige decided to oversee them.
Hmm.
So he really wants to make sure that they're not gonna make it a disaster because there are
I mean,
rumors that
I know it sounds scary, but I think of course Feige would oversee. These are such important movies. Like even if the Russos had a great track record until now, I think Feige would still have to be like, hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on? You know,
yeah,
he still
especially
has to.
that X-Men
Yeah.
are back,
Hmm.
which he worked on. So
Yeah.
so that's good news. But I think that he may oversee it even more strictly, especially that there are rumors that he may leave after Secret Wars, after there's this whole
Hmm.
reboot of the universe.
Hmm.
And that would make sense for him to move on, to leave, maybe for Lucasfilm to make his dream Star Wars movie or whatever.
Mm.
And it's
I
his
just want him
money.
to be happy. I feel like maybe he's just tired at this point. I don't know what's going on in his head, but
Yeah, I would have been also tired after Endgame when you
yeah,
have
after Endgame, but
50-50.
especially now that like they've been hitting so many like so many like bumps in the road. Not even from the quality of the and the critics, but even just there was COVID and there was the strikes and there was this. Oh, Jonathan Majors. They've hit so many speed bumps that just were out of his control.
Yeah.
And then of course the Iger, then Chapek, then Iger, all the different directives, and it's been honestly, it's pretty incredible how much they've been able to produce, even through highs and lows and everything. Um, but you can see that it's taking a toll, even when they've like announced Shang-Chi 2. Where is it? They announced Blade. Where is it? Like Marvel is struggling, but they're doing the best they can, I guess. Even if it's not up to the earlier quality, I think.
Yeah,
I just want to. Mm,
Kevin is a fan. He's a
yeah.
huge fan of comic books, and you can feel his love towards these characters. But not every decision is up to him, and you can feel
Hmm.
that he's hurt by it.
Hmm.
And if he had the overall 100% creative control, then I think those projects that were bad could have been much better.
Yeah. Or at least like I think Phase 3 is like the peak of what Marvel's ever put out, and
Phase
like
2 and Phase
especially
3.
for
Yeah.
consistency, like
Oh,
how
yeah.
many great projects in a row. And the secret I think there was he had creative control, and he let the directors do their thing, and you had this perfect like working together. Like Taika Waititi, he goes makes his weird stuff, then he comes back, and then they say, okay, what do we do with this? And then they make a great movie. You know, versus Love and Thunder, Taika Waititi goes and does his weird stuff. He comes back, and they're like, oh, whatever, just release it. And I don't know. You need the two working together.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to mention real quick upcoming movies. So right now it is March 2025. We just had Brave New World. Let's not talk about it. We have Thunderbolts May 2nd, Fantastic Four First Steps July 25th. Then that's it for this year. Next year we have Avengers Doomsday May 1st, 2026. Spider-Man 4 July 31st, 2026. Then Avengers Secret Wars May 7th, 2027. So this year we have three Marvel movies. Next year we have two, and so far for 2027 we have one. It's possible they add more movies that aren't announced yet. Like I mentioned, Shang-Chi 2, Blade,
X-Men.
X-Men, which I think is later, 2027, after Secret Wars, I think.
Yeah, I think it
Yeah,
starts the new phase, the phase
yeah.
7, the phase of mutants.
How do you feel about this road to Secret Wars right now? Do you think this is enough? Do you think they need to add more? Do you think it's coming too soon? What do you think?
I would love to see one more project before Doomsday and one more project in between, between
Hmm.
Doomsday and Secret Wars.
Hmm.
The one before definitely would be some pre-Avengers stuff, maybe even
Yes.
Young Avengers or something, like, I don't know, even a TV series where Chris Pratt plays Star-Lord and he. I had this wild theory that Star-Lord, Peter Quill, maybe the one who creates Young Avengers
Oh,
on Earth.
crazy. Are
That's
you
maybe
thinking
the
about
leader.
that concept art that came out?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's when I
yeah,
thought about it.
yeah.
And it would be a great way to show him assembling them, and then it would be a perfect way to introduce them in the movie without the need to, to spend a lot of time by
Hmm.
showing, hey, maybe we should be called Young Avengers or whatever. No, just jump right into it. Um, and the other project that would be great for me in between Doomsday and Secret Wars should be Secret Wars 1, and Secret Wars 2 should be,
Part one, part two. Yeah.
yeah, because I think that doing everything in one movie is not enough. Because
I
they
feel that.
said that Doomsday is around 2.5 hours and Secret Wars is 3 hours, 3 or 3.5, something like
Hmm.
that. So, but based on everything I've seen, everything I've read so far, Secret Wars should be, at least for me, what I would like to see, 3 movies at least,
Hmm. Hmm.
1, 2,
Hmm.
and 3, because people want to
And
see
so
cameos.
Doomsday, and then three Secret Wars movies.
Like Doomsday, Spider-Man 4, Secret Wars 1, some movie, Secret Wars 2, some movie, Secret Wars 3 to end it.
Insane. Wow. Wow.
Or even without the projects in between, like,
Uh-huh.
just like that they did with Harry Potter. Like, you have part 1 and part 2 next year. Like,
Hmm.
because, I want to see all the cameos. Because
Yeah.
that's the best moment to bring them, because people can say it's for nostalgia when you have the little multiversal plot. It's the multiverse saga. You can bring
Hmm.
people, so why not do this now?
Yeah. And I would personally also like to see surprises, like we saw in Multiverse of Madness, where they had random actors show up in new roles. I think that's a lot of fun too. No, don't just keep bringing back like the geriatric, ancient. Like, I mean, it'll be great to see them, the old people,
Bro,
but also give us some surprises. Give us some
you
new
know what I
people
would
too.
love to see is 80s or 90s Avengers, like
Like from What If? Yeah,
Denzel Washington is Black Panther.
yeah, yeah.
uh who else, maybe even Tom Cruise as Iron Man. That would be crazy.
I
uh
I don't think that's coming, but I feel
Yeah,
you.
I know, but there
Yeah.
were this, fan cast. I think it was Arnold Schwarzenegger as Thor.
Wow.
Yeah,
But yeah, I would like to see at least a
Mila
little.
Jovovich was Black Widow, I think. Bro,
I would like
like,
to see like from What If. Remember, I'd like to see some of those come a little bit. Also, like we were talking about with Spider-Man Fresh, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, right? I'd like to see some of those animated shows. X-Men '97. I'd like to see some of those come in. And if you notice in the video, the short 1 minute video, they had the '97 theme
yeah, from
incorporated.
Patrick Stewart.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
when
So
also
mhm,
Alex confirmed in his article, in his Q&A,
uh-huh.
that they will bring some animated characters.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
I
they're
remember you
doing
talked about that
reverse
before.
Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Uh,
Miles. Yeah. Um, to our earlier point, I think I agree. I would like some kind of Avengers thing before Doomsday because I feel like we can probably expect, you know, if Doomsday and Secret Wars are part one, part two, Doomsday is probably going to like break apart the Avengers. Secret Wars will bring them together somehow. I'm just guessing. Ends on a cliffhanger, bad, and Secret Wars is
yeah,
the triumphant return. But we can't break apart the Avengers when they haven't even been formed yet. Like
exactly.
this is like doing Infinity Wars, the first Avengers. What are
Or
you doing?
maybe it's the Avengers 1 again, like forming the
Yeah,
Avengers, or maybe at this point every hero who appears is considered to be an Avenger, and then you're just,
because we're gonna spend like half this movie doing like Seven Samurai, like recruiting and assembling all the team, and then they're like, oh, there's Doctor Doom, and then what?
yeah, there's at least half of the heroes who haven't met each other, so we
More
have
like the
to,
whole universe hasn't met each other at this
yeah.
point, right? We really think we needed some kind of Avengers movie like 2 years ago, in like 2022, 2023, something to connect everybody. Just one thing then to at least connect at least a few of the characters. Like Shang-Chi, do you remember the post credits in Shang-Chi?
Yeah.
And that's like our closest thing to a crossover team up. Just everyone just staring, oh, what's this? This cosmic band thing.
And the
And
Brave
then
New World post-credit scene.
I I'm I, I don't know what you're talking.
We just a straight copy from the Elseworlds first. So
Yeah, but and even then, that the cosmic band thing from Chang-Chi, September 2021 has not been followed up on. Like, there's
and
so
probably
many
won't be.
dangling threads in this multiverse saga. It's like frustrating. And I imagine, hopefully, the Russos and McFeely are they're very smart, especially what they did in Phase 1, 2, 3. And I can imagine, I don't know if I trust, but I imagine they will try to resolve all the dangling threads and Doomsday, I think. Because that and Phase 1, 2, 3, they were so smart about that, picking up the loose pieces and tying it all together into something that makes sense miraculously. I don't know how they did that. And now they have to do it again.
Well, I think that McFeely has the toughest job.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Russos will be controlled by Feige, so he'll control how they adapt his script onto the screen. So that's at least half of the problem gone.
Hmm.
But it's still, there still remains the problem of public, just like Matt Murdock would say.
Hmm.
People are afraid that this.
They didn't announce Daredevil. Oh, I want Daredevil to be in this. I want to see
Yeah, me
him.
too.
Just, I don't know what he's gonna do, but I want to see him in it.
Yeah, at this
Uh,
point he must be. But I just saw this meme today where there is Thanos who's
mm,
bleeding. Below him is the whole cast,
mhm.
and he's saying all of this for 2.5 out of 5 stars.
Have you read War of the Realms?
I started it.
Okay. God, it was like 2019. It's been a while, but there's this really cool part where Daredevil like gets like this god sword, and he becomes like a god of justice or something. Hang on, I have to check this. War of
I
the
remember
Realms.
he got his sword in Idol Devil's Reign, or
Okay,
was it?
Heimdall passes on the sword Hofun to Daredevil, allowing him to rebuild the Bifrost, send hero strike teams on the missions across the realms.
What are you saying
And
to me
so
right now?
Daredevil like he gets this like cosmic suit. Like his suit is like red with like stars all over it. It's incredible. It's so cool. I would like to see some weird stuff like that in Doomsday. Like have Daredevil, but then Daredevil goes cosmic somehow, which lots of people will be upset about. But this is what comics are about, right?
I think it's this point where I stop being Tony Stark because I'm too dumb for this stuff. No,
Okay.
it's too much
So
for
let's
me.
get into it. So I have the list of the cast that was announced in the order of the announcements. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'll say the names, the character names in order. Okay. So we have Thor, Sue Storm, Sam Wilson, Bucky Barnes, Shuri, Ant-Man, John Walker, Namor, The Thing, Shang-Chi, Yelena, Hank McCoy, Beast, Sentry, Joaquin Torres, Falcon, Human Torch, Red Guardian, Mabaku, Ghost, Loki, Professor X, Magneto, Nightcrawler, Mystique, Cyclops, Gambit, Mr. Fantastic, and Doctor Doom. Okay, those are our characters. What do you think about the order that they were listed in? Do you have any opinions on this?
I think they were trying to do the most obvious stuff at the beginning, then try to show some surprises, and they try to end it with the bang. Because we
Yeah,
all
with the
know
X
that
Men. Yeah.
RDJ would be at the end, just to end it because it's his movie. Let's
Hmm.
be honest, it's his movie. So
And I think it's really interesting that they did a Mr. Fantastic and Doctor Doom at the end, like a 1-2 punch. I hope this means that they're going to be at the core of these movies, as they are in Secret Wars, right? By
as they
Hickman.
are in comics, even
Yeah, yeah,
because in almost every comic they have they have a drama.
yeah.
Like I remember that Doctor Doom hates Mr. Fantastic and Sue, but
Hmm.
he would do everything for their daughter. Like
Hmm. Yeah, for
yeah,
Valeria.
yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of men on this list, not a lot of women, which is weird because they spent so much time building up all their female characters.
Maybe it's a tease that the next list would be 90% of women and 10% of
Possibly.
men.
Like, where is She-Hulk?
Hmm.
What happened to that? Where's Wanda?
Yeah,
Where
I
where's
definitely. I
or
think
any of those witches from Agatha?
Wanda may be kept as a secret to be a plot hole,
Okay, okay.
with it as a part of the plot.
Hmm.
But the rest, I think they will announce a secret part later because I think it's mostly because of the deals and the contracts. They may not
Okay.
have signed them yet. So,
I'm really surprised they didn't mention any supernatural characters at all. Like none. That is strange, isn't it? No
bro,
Wong,
like
no
Werewolf by the
Strange, no
Night, Man
Clea.
Thing,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Moon
uh,
Knight. Like
Ghost Rider.
All those Midnight Suns characters just vanished.
Yeah, I definitely think it would be the second list because, as you can see, the X Men, these particular X Men were meant to be a part of Deadpool and Wolverine, but they cut
Hmm.
them. So,
Hmm.
I think that ob- con- they were obligated by the contract
Hmm.
to return in Doomsday as a part of it, and I think this is the best decision they could have made.
The
Instead of,
Eternals are also missing. The Eternals
I think the Eternals.
are dead.
No, not that, but may not be a part of Doomsday. Maybe a Secret Wars, but not Doomsday.
The Eternals died on the way back to their home planet.
Or maybe Doom killed them.
Um, so basically, this list is kind of the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, and X Men, and that's and okay. So we have the Avengers, Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, and X Men, and that's it.
Hmm.
Our four groups. They did not talk about the Eternals. They didn't talk about any of the multiverse characters like Sylvie or Andrew, Toby, the Blade.
Nick Cage.
All the women X Men. Most of the women X Men are missing, like Jean Grey, Storm, Rogue, X-23. What happened to them? Um, Kind of weird who they
Hmm.
chose and not.
When you
Yeah.
think about it, maybe they just wanted to, to fill the void for a second
Hmm.
there and
Hmm.
then reveal more names later. Because at this point, I think they would be stupid to hide some big names from us because
Yeah.
as soon as they start shooting, those photos will leak, and then there
Yeah.
would be another. It's a Photoshop situation, and people know they're lying. So, and people, even if those photos leak, people would still go to see the movie. So what's the
Oh
point?
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. But I
So what's
remember
the point?
when they were filming Endgame, and everyone quickly realized that, oh, they're gonna time travel to 2012. And I was kind of sad that that was spoiled because that was such a cool concept. And but at the same time, there's still lots of mysteries around it. We didn't know everything for sure. The costumes were different and everything, but
Yeah.
um, and I think they're going to be smarter now. But at least I'm just worried that maybe they're going to film everything in on a studio with like a green screen instead of actually going outside and filming on location to avoid
Well,
spoilers.
I wouldn't be afraid about it, but as you can see, revealing the X-Men is already this small part of the plan to
Mm-hmm.
reveal the mystery and all that,
Mm-hmm.
but also to show what the plot would be, at least some part of it. Because I
Yeah,
think it will be the similar to the Infinity War, where we have two or three different plot lines going at the same time and then connecting in the end.
hopefully, because Infinity War was like honestly, I think the greatest comic book adaptation you could have, even
It's
though
my
it's not like
favorite
really
MCU movie. It's
it's not
my
like a really
yeah.
direct adaptation of the story, but it captures the feeling of you're reading all these different miniseries and the miniseries crossover. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you have all
exactly.
these.
And
Go on.
when you have yeah, but Infinity War is my favorite MCU movie, so I'm always gonna agree with you when you say something
Hmm.
positive about it. So
But like the way they have all these separate threads, all these separate storylines, and like it starts at one place. There's a big like issue one, a big event, and all the storylines go separate directions. Then each person has their own side quest, and then they cross over in interesting ways. And at the end of each of their side quests, they've all upgraded in some way, or they all have new information, or they all have something. They've met each other. Something has changed over each of their side quests. Something has changed. Then they come back at the end with their new information, and they're like, "We're gonna beat him," and then they still don't. It's so perfect. It's just amazing what they did in Infinity War. It's like the ultimate version of what this could be, and they pulled it off.
yeah, I think
Um,
that's because they shooted Infinity War and Endgame back to back, like at the same time. So I think
yeah,
that was the greatest way to connect those two movies and not have a break in between.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they shoot for like 2 years straight, I think,
Hmm.
something around it. Yeah, so that
I
was
think
a
something
good
like that. Yeah.
decision.
Here's an interesting question: what team ups would you like to see of all the characters that they've announced
Questions
or
from
that you expect to be in it?
That is a
Yeah.
question from our patron. So be sure to subscribe to become our patron. Then you can ask us questions and we'll answer. The team up. I would say.
But I'm talking about like unexpected, like unpredictable team ups, like
Hmm.
really weird ones.
Spider-Man, Toby and Andrew with Nick Cage as Ghost Rider, and with some of the Young Avengers.
But both Spider-Man. You don't want to
Both
separate the
Spider-Man,
Spider-Man.
yeah, because
Okay.
we know Tom Holland won't be a big part of the movie as an actor. He's just
Mhm.
gonna record the voice and then maybe reveal his face in the end or whatever. But I would love to see some of the veterans teaming up with the new heroes,
Mhm.
the veterans from pre MCU,
Mhm.
and that would be not the predictable team up, and
Mhm.
also the one that I would be the most excited about.
Mhm.
And who wouldn't love to want to see Nick Cage, Toby, Andrew together? What's yours?
It, I don't know. I'm thinking it's kind of left field, but I really like Wyatt Russell as John Walker, and I think it'd be really fun to see him play off some of the really crazy characters because he's kind of such a grounded, real human. And imagine him with the Thing or something like that.
They
You
would just
know?
laugh at him.
Yeah.
Like you're fake
But
Captain America.
yeah, but I feel like they're still like as humans because the Thing is so human, despite his big rock body, he's still so deeply human inside. Also, I think they could have an interesting dynamic. Um,
Also, they both want to become someone who they are not and who they
yeah,
are
for
not
sure.
meant to be.
Hmm. I want to put Shuri with someone. I'm trying to think. Is
Maybe Moon
Shuri
Knight.
religious?
I don't know.
Because she's so science based. But and their culture, I feel like they're still mystical. I think it'd be interesting to pair her with Nightcrawler
Oh, that's a good one. Huh.
because
So,
Nightcrawler like defies everything with science. He's so religious based, and then his teleportation. I feel like Shuri would be so interested in. How does he do this? Like, is there a way she can replicate his teleportation? And then I think also if they talk about like philosophy and spirituality, religion, I
yeah.
think that could be really interesting.
Okay, that's a very good. Wow. Okay, I didn't
Mm.
think about this way, but
I'm just thinking now. Yeah.
also he would be a great shoulder to cry for her because I bet Shuri is still sad about the child's death. So
It'll be great to see her after Wakanda Forever. Now, when she's matured and grown into her role, because Wakanda Forever was her day one, right?
yeah.
And so now to see her like fully in Black Panther mode, oh, she'll be really cool. I want to put Thor with someone now. I don't know who.
I don't care about this story right now.
Red Guardian, Thor and Red Guardian. They'll just be goofballs. For they'll be so incompetent.
Bro, I just hate this version of Thor. Infinity War gave me the best version
Yeah,
of Thor, the
yeah,
broken
yeah,
one,
for sure.
and then in Endgame they made him a drunk, they made him a fatty. Like, come on, I just wanted to see this serious broken Thor for a moment.
Yeah, yeah.
Then YTT came and destroyed him.
I mean, Waititi made him cool in 2017.
Yeah, in 2017, but not in
Yeah,
2022 or whatever
yeah.
this shitty movie came up. Sorry for the language.
He had such a weird arc between the time, but all Phase Three was rock solid. It was so good. Phase Three, the way they kept reinventing themselves. Okay, let's look at some of these questions. Okay, hold on. I also want to mention before we get to the questions, I want to mention the unannounced cast. So these are people who
Oh, yeah.
have not confirmed. They will probably be in it. Maybe they've been heavily rumored or even reported. So we have. I think I will just say the character names again.
Go for
So
it.
Steve Rogers, Peggy Carter, Natasha. I don't know. I don't know. I don't. I think she's done.
I have a
Uh,
theory that before you go next, that they may do the evil Avengers, and that the
hmm,
way they may come back, or yes, evil variants or whatever. That Doom
hmm.
just assembles the original Avengers
Oh,
back, but
interesting.
they are evil. Maybe
Uh,
something like this.
uh-huh. Do you know what Squadron Supreme is? It's like a multiverse Justice League, basically. So it's like based on the Justice League, but in Marvel, and they're all basically villains, kind of.
Oh,
And
okay.
I think Kang was part of the whatever. So that could be something interesting too. If they make an MCU Squadron Supreme that's actually like evil Avengers, maybe. Okay.
And that way they
Uh,
may come back.
yeah, as variants, right?
Yeah.
Bruce Banner, Hulk, Clint Barton, Hawkeye, Nick Fury, War Machine, R.I.P. Armor Wars. Pepper Potts, Tom Holland Spider-Man, Star-Lord, Doctor Strange, Wong, Clea, Katie from Shang-Chi, Okoye, Wasp, Captain Marvel, Monica and Maria Rambeau. Those are huge additions. Scarlet Witch, Vision, Valkyrie, She-Hulk, Wonder Man, Daredevil, Moon Knight, uh, Mahershala Ali, and then the heavily rumored Ghost Rider, which Ryan Gosling is the rumor. I don't know, man. I don't
The
know. I
OG
love
is
Ryan
the
Gosling,
rumor, I
but
think. I hope for the
well, sure,
OG.
as a multiverse variant, yeah.
Or
And then
maybe
from the
the one from the
multiverse,
movie.
yeah, multiverse characters like I mentioned, Sylvie, B-15, uh, Toby,
Mobius.
Andrew, Wesley Blade. Who?
Mobius.
Oh
Owen
God,
Wilson.
I thought you said Morbius, and my heart almost.
Bro, no, never. Never. Not in
I
100 years.
I want a real Morbius. I want
I want
Morbius
the real
real.
Morbius who just sucks
Oh,
serum.
not from Spider-Man '94, but I want a real Midnight Suns with Ghost Rider, Blade, and Morbius. That's the Midnight Suns. Those three are like the holy trinity of the Midnight Sun. They're your Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, Blade, Morbius, and a Ghost Rider. Danny. Those are the three for the Midnight Sun. Remember that, Marvel. Okay. They didn't announce Jean Grey, Storm Rogue, like I mentioned, X-23, crazy. Wolverine,
Iceman.
Deadpool, Uatu, the Watcher, and like all the What If characters. But I'm pretty sure we're going to have some animated crossovers and stuff. So there's still a lot of things they're keeping under wraps for some reason. I think it's a weird list of who they actually announced.
I think the animated characters would be the easiest to hide from us.
For sure. Yeah. Maybe these are going to be the central characters for the movie.
I think the Watcher will be the most.
You would hope so, right? He should have a big role.
Yeah, especially since it's Doomsday and he sees all threats and he tries to keep protect the
Yeah.
multiverse.
Yeah.
Who else? I'm trying to think. Huh.
I think the Thunderbolts is just a weird angle to add in here. I'm not sure. I just don't know what they're doing with them. I think we have to watch the movie to find out. But why are they so central?
I don't know. Or maybe they are the new Avengers. Maybe Sam tries to recruit them at the end of Thunderbolts.
Aha.
Because Bucky, tells him that
Aha.
I know they're not good, but let's try to recruit them. Maybe. But I don't know what Sentry is doing on this list, to be honest.
And I don't know if I like the Thunderbolts as an Avengers because they're all like grounded. You don't have enough like range of power. The power sets or you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. But I think in terms of disconnecting them from Val, because they found out she's manipulating them and all that, and then them trying to be a team, helping people. Because in comic books, they are called the new Avengers to the public.
Yeah.
So that way, I think that they may try to play it off, but with Sam trying to recruit some people because of the danger that's coming, and it doesn't matter if they are the best heroes, the most popular ones, just the heroes who want to help the fight.
You know who's missing? Gaia from Secret Invasion.
Why did you have to do this to me? Just why? Please,
the most powerful character in the Marvel universe.
Can I forget about her?
What have they done?
Can we pretend Doom killed her?
Imagine if it's like opening crawl. Doom's killed. Dan.
Just like in Star Wars.
Right?
The credits. Doom is destroying the multiverse. He killed. And the list goes on for 15 minutes.
And it starts with Kang and Gaia. Oh my god. Okay. All right. That's fine. Okay. Let's get into some of the audience questions. So these are from our Patreons, right? Thank you, Patreon guys. Emi, E-M-E. She writes, or they write, are Evans and Atwell still in Doomsday? What do you think?
I hope so.
Yeah.
At this point, I think that even showing them as variants would be good. Especially Captain America and Captain Carter. Just imagine this dynamic.
Yeah. I think I would love to see the originals come back as variants, not they don't have to be playing, themselves. And I mean, a major question is still what happened to Old Man Steve, right? So we should see that wrapped up at some point, I think. Um, Also related to this, I don't know if I'm sure we talked at some point about this, but when this was still King Dynasty, I had a major theory that they were going to find a timeline from the future where all the young Avengers had grown up and had become the new Avengers.
Oh yeah,
Um,
we've talked about it.
yeah, yeah, and I really believed in this theory, and
Yeah,
that
and
we
that
would see
way.
all of them as adults. Yeah,
Also, there are people missing like Tommy, Billy,
exactly. All the young Avengers are missing. Um,
Wong.
yeah, so you can imagine that maybe all those supernatural characters, the young Avengers, maybe they're off on some other mission, and it'll be interesting to see what's going on with them. Um, but this pivot to Doomsday, because Doomsday is not a comics arc. It's not a comic thing. Doomsday's from DC. That's a different thing.
No, but there's a
So
Doomsday arc in Marvel. Like they're releasing Marvel Doomsday comic. Yeah, it's Ultimate Comics Doomsday right now. It's not the Avengers Doomsday, but it's the
yeah,
Doomsday in Ultimate.
I mean, I think maybe I don't know. They could be looking at the. There's a Doom trilogy from Ultimates. Gosh, I need to finish my Doctor Doom reading guide. But yeah, there's like I think I talked about my Fantastic Four reading guide maybe, but there's a Doom trilogy from the Ultimate series that maybe they could be pulling from.
Hmm.
But I'm not sure. Okay, next question from Liam, Kate Bishop fan. Liam's great. Hiya gang, what do you guys make of the absences of some very big names? The Spideys, Wanda, Carol, Monica, the Hulk cousins, Evans, and Atwell, and minor roles like Kate, Kamala, the Champions. Do you expect these all to be in Doomsday's cameos and announced in future, or saved just for surprises for the movie? We kind of touched on this a bit, right?
Yeah, so just like we said, some will be revealed and some will be kept as surprise.
Yeah. I would really love to see a surprise like variants, like Chris Evans come back as like Hydra. Oh, imagine if he comes back as Hydra Cap.
Not
Like,
again.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I think they'll announce Toby and Andrew. Like,
Hmm.
there's a huge chance they'll announce them because they already appeared in Spider-Man, and people kind of expect them
Hmm.
to appear in Spider-Man 4.
Hmm.
But people like Nick Cage, for example, they're not gonna be announced because they're keeping the surprise, just like the original Fantastic Four, which we didn't
Uh-huh.
mention.
I feel like we need a counter for every time I mention Mahershala Ali and every time you mention Nick Cage, like a
Yeah.
copium counter.
Yeah, we definitely have to. We have to see which one appears first. But technically, Mahershala appeared already, but
At least you got two movies for Nick Cage. Okay. All right. Liam, Kate Bishop fan. Again, my guy. He says, question number 2. Alex has basically hinted or said it is likely to be the case, but would you say it's fairly certain Avengers Doomsday would be a mix of Avengers versus X-Men and time runs out comic runs? And is there any other runs you'd expect to be adapted in Doomsday and Secret Wars, aside from the obvious Secret Wars run? So, of course, Secret Wars. It
Mhm.
seems certainly like they're setting up some kind of Avengers versus X-Men.
Yeah,
Times run out is the build up with all the incursions,
yeah.
preparing before
It's.
Secret Wars.
I think time runs out is part of this brick.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Your camera just shook. That was an earthquake.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god,
Those two-
weightlifting now. Show off.
Yeah. So I think so. As we talk, to run 2 omnibuses by Hickman, Avengers,
Oh my
and
god.
Fantastic Four.
This episode is so unhinged.
It's unexpected.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Mm. Yeah,
Also.
Avengers versus X-Men is a great idea. The comic run is pretty much maligned. Most people don't like it.
It's
But
the one with Cable going back in time to say that there's danger from Phoenix, yeah?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I think so. There was a whole thing with the X-Men and the Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's this one.
Yeah. And that's a shame because before that, Cable had such an awesome run of comics, like with the Messiah trilogy and stuff like that. And then it culminates in like Avengers versus X-Men.
I think I'm
Check
gonna...
out my Cable comics reading guide.
Yeah,
That was a good
definitely,
one.
but
That was a good one.
I think that Cable's arc was amazing in the animated series, in the original one.
Yeah, Cable is
great.
awesome. He's a meme of a character, but genuinely, he has such an awesome arc, especially in like those 2000 comics. Legit, rock solid.
But
Do
the
you have
other
any others?
ones,
Yeah. Do you have any others you want to pull? Oh, sure. Yeah. It's a
Doctor
good
Doom,
Doom
Book of
recommendation.
Doom, as
Hmm.
an inspiration, I think, because it's
Hmm.
the origin story of Doom, but it's gonna be changed to Tony Stark, who lost and who went mad into magic and whatever.
So
So
do
that's
you think RDJ is going to be actually Tony Stark as Doctor Doom, not Victor
yeah,
Von Doom?
no, I
At
think
at
that
San
is
Diego Comic Con, they said Victor Von Doom. They said VVD. They said it.
we trust Russos. They also said a lot of things back in the day.
Alrighty. Huh.
Yeah. And Secret Wars. It isn't Polish, but it's the 2014-15
15.
Secret Wars
15.
run.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But of
it's the
course,
one that they
there's
are
also
straight adapting, as you can see. Yeah. Reed
yeah.
Richards and Doctor Doom.
Right. And that's the one that's all about the multiverse kind of collapsing, and then you have this battle world of all the multiverse variants together, and a lot
Sort
of
of an
spin-off stories.
incursion.
Yes. But also they're going to be pulling from the original Secret Wars, which is I think 84, and that's where it's not multiverses colliding, but it's like planets colliding.
Yeah.
And they have that's where Spider-Man gets his black suit,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm pretty sure we can all guess is going to happen. And
Also, Alex said it's gonna happen back
yeah,
a few months ago.
yeah,
His
it's an
article,
easy
so.
prediction to make.
Yeah.
They've been Tom
There's
Hardy.
no
Do you
time
want to
like
see?
there's no time like this. So,
Do you want to see
yeah,
Tom
but
Hardy?
we talked about this when we were doing Venom podcast.
But today's the day. Avengers Doomsday. Do you want to see Sonyverse? A portal opens, and Venom says, "What's his catchphrase?" I don't know. Portal opens,
I
and he
don't
goes,
remember.
"Mrs. Chen, Mrs. Chen, we made it."
We're talking like we're high.
I feel like it. I guess.
Please, no, Venom. Please, just move on.
Okay. All right. And then, okay. So this name is J0HN.
I don't know a guy. I don't know this guy.
J0HN. I don't know what that means. He says, "Hi guys, loyal listener here. Yeah, I'm just wondering why Red has a voice that can cure all forms of cancer. Thanks, love the show." Well,
Because
Red
he's
isn't
red.
here, so I feel insulted. What about my voice? You have a nice voice.
Maybe because he's an angel.
He's an angel. Yeah, you're an angel. I'm an angel. We're all
Me
angel. We all have nice. Oh.
We're
Okay.
all Lizzie's angels. But moving on.
Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I think that we're gonna talk more about it in the future when
Yeah.
more will be
After
revealed
this-
or leaked.
After this announcement, has your hype gone up or down for Doomsday?
I think it's the same because we
Okay.
already knew at
Yeah.
least 80 or if not 90% of the names that will appear. But Gambit, Nightcrawler,
Mm.
and Sentry are the biggest surprises, but
Mm.
Gambit and Nightcrawler are the most hyped, most positive surprises
Mhm.
that I've got. Like,
It's
I
pretty
didn't
great that
expect
they
them.
have. It's pretty great that they have so many returning X-Men characters.
Yeah,
I personally wish we had maybe somehow also the prequel X-Men characters because I really love some of them. From the first class.
the young X-Men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think they're gonna do the Days of Future Past timeline, and that would be great because after Days of Future Past, because we never see what happened after that, and so this would actually be great because this is sort of a loose end, and this would be a nice way to kind of close that story.
Yeah, to me, Days of Future Past is like the perfect ending for the X-Men.
Okay,
And
it's like an
everything
open, happy
after
ending.
this, like the Apocalypse, the Dark Phoenix, the New Mutants, it's a completely new, different timeline.
Yeah. I feel you.
Yeah, and it's also
I
my
still-
favorite X-Men movie. So.
Yeah, guy, where are the New Mutants?
Moving on.
But seriously though, I think if they got Anya Taylor-Joy as Magic, that would be a good get, right?
Yeah, just her. Yeah.
Yeah. And like
Yeah.
the New Mutants are actually a great set of characters. Their run is so great by Chris Claremont.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe when they form Midnight Suns.
Yeah. I mean, the New Mutants are their own thing, but Magic is part of the Midnight Suns from the video game, and then also from the tie-in series from 2022, I think, which I don't think was a very great series, but it was a really good team. That's where you had Blade, you had Kushala, who's the spirit Ghost Rider. She's a time traveler
Oh,
Sorcerer Supreme, and a Ghost Rider
so
all in
like the
one.
Ghost Rider 2099, something like this.
Yeah, but she's from the past. Super cool character, super OP. And you had Magic, you had Nico Minoru, and Wolverine.
Okay.
It's a cool lineup. It's a cool team. And Wolverine has like fought vampires and stuff. So he's honestly not out of place on a Midnight Suns team if you give him the right story, if you give him the right reason to be there. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me personally, I think my hype has honestly gone down a little bit because I'm just confused by who they chose to announce and who they didn't announce. My X-Men hype has gone up for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm confused why there's so much emphasis on the Thunderbolts. And I'm like, I just want to know what happened to Moon Knight, what happened to She-Hulk, where's all the Midnight Suns characters, where's all the Young Avengers? Like,
Where's Wong?
there's
Where's
whole
Doctor
group.
Strange? Where's America Chavez?
Exactly. All those Midnight Suns characters, Supernatural characters, the Strange Academy characters. What's going on? So we shall see.
At least I'm happy they kept Channing Tatum, not brought back Taylor Kitsch to play Gambit, because Channing Tatum was fantastic. Just imagine this guy had a dream to have his own movie. They didn't make it. They said, "Okay, Cam, we'll give you a cameo in Deadpool and Wolverine," and now he'll be a part of Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, and he'll be the most beloved X-Man. Like, I'm so happy for him, and I'm so happy for myself.
What a dream come true, right? Yeah. How weird is that? They announced Channing Tatum as Gambit, but not Deadpool or Wolverine. How weird is that? I'm just Kelsey Grammer.
How long I've been waiting for this? I'm about to make a name for myself here.
Kelsey Grammer was a nice surprise, though.
Oh yeah, Kelsey Grammer. Yeah.
His beast is great.
I wonder if they're gonna keep his look from the Marvels, or if
I was about to ask. I like the lab coat look. I just hope it's more practical than CGI. But
I
it's
really
the
want the
Russos.
Days of the Future Past look.
It's the Russos, and so I think it'll be like I am very upset with what they did with Iron Man's suit, because when you look at the Favreau movies and his suit's all practical, it's all physical.
Yeah.
God, it looks great. It looks so good. And then when you look at like Infinity War,
or even Civil War.
Yeah, like the design is fine. But with the CGI on the outside, it just looks. Ugh.
I think he just has the Iron Man chest plate, and that's it. Just so people know that he's wearing this. Yeah. But Kelsey Grammer, man, wow, I really missed him.
Mm-hmm.
He was the perfect beast.
He was very good. Yeah. But also, I mean, to be fair, also the actor from '97, his voice is really good too. I would love to see some of the '97 characters somehow come into this.
Also, we forget about our boys, James Marsden and Sir Ian McKellen.
Yeah, of course.
I think I'm more hyped for Marsden than for Ian.
Yeah, because Cyclops had such a terrible ending in X-Men 3.
I wouldn't say terrible, but wasted.
Yeah, sure.
Because his role in X-Men 1 and X-Men 2 was great, and I kind of understand that grief in X-Men 3, because it was natural, but the way they could have kept him, alive and appear in the finale to understand that grief is a grief, but you still have to help people.
Yeah.
And
but I love X-Men 2 so much. Yeah.
I think that since they're bringing back those people and already used some of the X-Men 97 or aka comic book looks, he may get his new suit. They all may have their comic book accurate looks.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. My God, that's so exciting. We're going to see all the original X-Men come back with their comic accurate suits now.
Or maybe appear, just like they appeared in the movie, in their own movies, and then during the movie get new suits.
Yeah.
Win-win.
That'd be great. Yeah.
It's a win-win.
I hope now Wolverine gets his brown suit, because that looks so good. And
the one that he had fighting the Hulk.
Yes. Yeah, because that looks so good in that movie, and it's just for a split second. I'm like, no, that looks better than the yellow. Give him that one. So I hope they do that, but I don't know, man. I'm excited for the X-Men stuff. What was that?
I think if I had to choose the suit for Wolverine, I would really choose the black one.
That's from Uncanny Avengers.
Yeah, But
Better?
I'm saying the one
No,
the
X
one they use
Force, X Force, right?
in the
Uncanny X
Fox.
Force. That's the name. Uncanny
Yeah,
X Force.
the one they used in the Fox movies.
Yeah.
The latex.
Well, oh, I see what you're. I'm sorry, I was thinking comics because there's
Yeah.
Uncanny X Force in
Yeah, when
2010
he
by
has
Rick
red
Remender.
eyes and all that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and
I
that's when
have
he's
it.
with Deadpool. He's on a team with Deadpool then,
Yeah,
and
I
that's
have it. I
cool.
have it. I have the Uncanny X-Force, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure X-23 is on that team also, right?
Yeah, and Punisher is also like, or some other people like whatever at this
Yeah,
point.
but that would be cool if we follow up after Deadpool and Wolverine, and now Wolverine, Deadpool, X-23. They formed their own version of the X Force now. Like they've actually made the real X Force finally,
The one
and they
that
all
are
have
not
like
dead.
the black and silver, the black and gray suits. Yo, that would be so cool. That'd be cool. Uh, anyway, there's so many like theories and different directions to go in on this.
Yeah,
Um,
we'll definitely talk about it in the
there's
future.
so many loose ends. There's so much.
I think that
What
we'll have
what
more.
the heck is Namor doing in all this? What is M'Baku gonna do?
I think that it has the plot point would be the different countries, areas, fighting
Sure,
Doomsday.
sure.
And
Hopefully
Mbaku
different,
is the
and
king
like we
of
said, hopefully
Wakanda.
different universes too.
Yeah, or maybe the universe where Mbaku is the Black Panther.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be
Yeah.
cool.
But I think that we'll know more after Fantastic Four that we could
Mm.
talk about. Uh, I hope we can get Alex back with us. Like, I think he would explain a lot of things,
Oh,
also, or maybe tease so we could talk about it better and connect what he says with the comic book runs because I believe that they will use more than 5 or 6 comic books to adapt the story in Doomsday. Like, I think
yeah.
they may go even for 20 or 30, if not more.
I,
Just
I'm
to
surely
just
going
pick
to take a
some
lot of.
small things. Yeah.
Mhm. But even like WandaVision, there's like a moment in Avengers Disassembled by Bendis. There's this one specific like 2 pages, just 2 pages, where Wanda has this like vision. No pun intended. I don't remember what it is. She has like some kind of vision, and everything goes black and white. And she has her 2 kids, and she's just a stay-at-home mom taking care of her 2 kids, and it's all very domestic, like 1950s. It's like 2 pages in Avengers Disassembled, and that basically became the foundation for the beginning of WandaVision. Like when you read that now, you're like, "Wow, this is WandaVision from like 2004." So it's really interesting how when they go and take inspiration not from a whole storyline, but just one idea from this, one idea from this. I think that's pretty neat.
Yeah, I think that's the
Sometimes,
best.
yeah,
That's the best way to do movies, especially in Marvel.
yeah. Whew. I think this was a long one, very chaotic, but I
But a
think
very good one.
hopefully, I feel like I have more questions and more mysteries after this, and hopefully at least Secret Wars will wrap up whatever Doomsday doesn't. Also,
Uh,
like I think we mentioned before we started recording, why are all the chairs different? All the chairs are different. What does it mean? What does it mean? All the
Look at the
sound effects were
shadows.
different. When they're showing the chairs, there's a different sound effect for each character.
Yeah, their team. It was
Some of them
very
have
nice.
themes. Some of them just have sounds.
Yeah,
Some of them have
because
different musical cues.
Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four they haven't released the
Hmm.
character teams yet, so that's understandable.
Oh,
But when I heard the Shang-Chi team, oh, chills.
yeah, it's been a long time. Okay. Anyway, guys, thank you everyone for watching and listening to our crazy rambles. If you like this discussion, be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Please tell us your crazy theories too. Please tell us when we're wrong. Please tell us why your ideas are better. Um, what are your favorite multiverse comics? What are your favorite theories for Doomsday Secret Wars? What are your favorite Doomsday Doctor Doom comics? And I guess Doomsday, why not? We support DC also. Are you excited
Me,
for
me especially.
are you excited for the future and the end of the multiverse saga? We've been talking about doing an episode called Looking Forward to the End of the Multiverse Saga, and I said, yes, I definitely am.
Yeah.
And then you can find me on Blue Sky at Vin Wright's Words.
I'm vague. You can find me at Salki on Twitter and Blue Sky.
Be sure to follow the CosmicCircus.com on Blue Sky at My Cosmic Circus, where you can find my reviews, articles, editorials, and pins like the ones you just watched. Thanks, guys. See you next time. And thank you, Patreon.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. And special thanks to our Patreon supporters. If you'd like to see even more videos and extended content, please subscribe at the link in the description.
Thank you.
So, by the
Yeah.
way, for the Oscars, John got more of the Oscars correct than me. So, as punishment, I have to watch Ghost Rider 2, and I have to do a review with John.
I can do it with you. I love Ghost Rider 2. It's a great movie when you think about it. When you think about
We'll
it in
talk to him
terms
and
of
see.
when you think about it in terms of adapting the comic book
Uh-huh.
straight into the movie and doing all those things that are in comic books and all that.
Uh-huh.
That's how watching and enjoying movies works, bro.